this thing talking about tech startups. They're reimagining their office space needs.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were talking in like, was it the last podcast or the podcast before that, where you were saying that don't take your office space out of the community because then people might forget about you. So that's kind of the same deal here. And it's so tech startups are. And it's focused mostly on New York City, which is where you see some of these tech startups start because it's easy for them to get office space there and for people to congregate in New York City.
Yeah.
But it was from this person. Her name was, or this quote piece came from. Her name was Maria Gotch. I'm probably butchering her name. Let's see, where is she? Like right here. It starts right here.
Gotcha.
So it says that she is the chief executive of Business Group Partnership Fund for New York City. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty good. So she gave a piece to the Washington Post saying that tech startups will want new office spaces because the people that work for these tech startups are like in their 20s and 30s. And people use office spaces as a way to meet new people. So she was coming from, she was going at this point from like a sociological perspective where it's like you need this office space for younger people to interact and meet with one another. Because it's like that's where they spend most of their day, and maybe they don't have time to like go to a bar or something after work.
Right.
Because they're working at a tech startup, so they're spending all their time in the office. So she was going at it from a sociological standpoint, but then you have this other person that comes in. The CEO's name is Rachel Typograph. She is in charge of a software e-commerce company called Micmac, and they're rethinking their office space as more of just like a place for people to go and congregate to work on projects from time to time, and then mostly work from home. So we're going to see probably shorter leases over time, or like time slotted office spaces.
Yeah.
So, which actually kind of sucks because that was one of my ideas that I had for Blacksburg, because a space opened up downtown. It was like $1,600 a month. You just take that space, rent it out to businesses that are working from home, and then you can also rent it out to college students that need a space.
So you're saying like an appointment based office space for teams to come in and collaborate together when they need to.
Yeah. So it could be either or, because one of the things that I'm seeing happen in the commercial area is they're reworking their leases to not be as, because they're usually like 3 years typically, and then it would be shorter than that. So to make it more, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. Make it look more appealing, I guess, to someone to go and use that space. Because if something like this happened again, it'd be easy for them to get out of their lease because it wouldn't be so long. So they're looking at 18-month leases for this Micmac software company.
Gotcha. So
she wants to keep that like flexible work from home, but also if they need to collaborate.
I just don't know. How I feel about that is I just don't know. Like I said, like I don't take this space for the space necessarily, even though for me, it's just for the people that I want to hire. It's for the community to recognize me. It's for like building my brand. Yeah.
So you probably side more with the Maria person, the chief executive of that business group partnership fund. Because, it's for her workers to collaborate and get to know one of each other and do better on their work, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. But I just thought it was pretty interesting that they focused on tech startups in particular for this.
I mean, I see when you're an internet-based brand, like Pinterest. Yeah. We talked about Pinterest. Mm-hmm. Pinterest doesn't necessarily need office space or community. Their community is online. Their community is an internet.
Well, then you also go and look at these places like, so Amazon just signed a lease for like 900,000 square foot office space, I think, in New York City. And then Facebook did the same thing with like a 700,000 square foot office space. It actually might be in this article. Hold on. I think it was at the bottom. Let me get my mouse back over here. Yep. So Facebook signed a lease for 730,000 square foot space in Manhattan, and Amazon announced a 900,000 square foot space in New York, Phoenix, San Diego, Denver, Detroit, and Dallas. I don't know if that's combined or they're each 900 square feet a piece, but probably combined, I would hope.
Does it say anything there on like what the purpose is and what their plans are?
They're just expanding their office space. They need more workers for their business to grow. They just, I guess they both got to that point where they're just
service. Well, I mean, what?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's customer service or not. It didn't sound like it because I remember when, well, like in particular New York City, there was a whole thing where it was like Amazon was looking at expanding their office space and they were deciding between Northern Virginia. I don't remember where in Northern Virginia, but it was Northern Virginia and like New York City. And something happened in New York City, so they were going to like do it in Northern Virginia. But they're not on the list, so this must be something different, like a different expansion.
Yeah, see, they're going to have a fulfillment center in Alexandria, I think.
Well, no, they were. I specifically remember it being office spaces because they were talking about it bringing in high income jobs, which was the big deal, and they were going to put them in like an area that needed it.
This is like HQ2.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was HQ2, I think, is what they called it.
Yeah.
Because their first one is in Seattle.
Yeah.
And they were going to expand more towards the East Coast. Yeah. So I don't know about the fulfillment centers though. This might be. Well, no, it says office space, so I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. We'll have to look into that.
Must be like customer service.